Hello everybody, it's Miss Henderson. Today we are going to be doing 1 point perspective. We're going to be drawing a word and having all the orthogonals go to a vanishing point. What you're going to need for this activity is a ruler, a pencil, and an eraser, and some colored pencils or some crayons. I tend to like crayons for this activity because they color and spread on the paper really well. I would not recommend markers for this activity because it works best if you blend. All right, let's get started. First of all, you're going to take an empty sheet of graph paper and you're going to think about boxes. Now, the maximum number of boxes you can have across, you need to pick a word. You need to pick a word and it has to at least be 3 letters. If you want to do, the longest word you can do is actually 7 letters on this grid paper. We're doing 5 across and 8 down with 1 space in between each letter. Again, that's 5 across and 8 down with 1 space in between each letter. So I'm going to do the demonstration and I'm going to use the word hope. But you can use other words. Here I did my daughter's name Sammy. I think the longer the word, the cooler it looks. Sometimes doing short words, it you have a lot of negative space. So to fill that negative space, what I did is you can draw a little emoji. Okay. So you can look up an emoji and then we're going to draw lines down to the vanishing point. Okay, so let's get started. Let me get a blank sheet of graph paper here in front of me. And like I said, it's going to be 5 across and 8 down. So what I do is I skip my first one. And if you're only going to do a short word, you might want to skip more spaces than just one. So what I do is I kind of do these little L brackets. And then I count 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I do another L bracket. I'm going to skip 1 space. Count 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip a space. So on and so forth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I'm going to count 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, L brackets. Just copy your spacing from above. Just follow that line down. And you can do these fairly lightly because you might need to erase them. Okay. The next step is doing a block letter or like a bubble letter, but it needs to have 90-degree angles instead of curves. A lot of my students get confused at this point. So here's what I want you to do. Say you're going to write the word H, the hope. Go ahead and above it, just kind of write the word like you normally would write it, and then kind of make it bigger, like that. Okay. I'm going to add a center of an O, draw an outline around it, center for a P, draw around the E. And this is just me sketching about it so I can kind of get an idea of what it's going to look like. So now I'm going to do this H. So I know I need to do long, long, and a space in the middle. So I have 2 nice vertical lines. All right, so if I count 5 and they're each 2, okay, well, there's my H. Okay, well, now I got to decide the middle. Where is my middle of the H going to be? And this is why we are working with pencil. We are just guessing. And the good thing about this is you can sketch it, and if you don't like it, just go ahead and erase it. That's good. The beauty of working with a pencil. All right, so here I'm going to have an O. So I want to have my O1. So that way each is 2. Okay, well, that works. So you can draw it and see what it looks like. All right, now here's my P. How am I going to do a P? I know I need to come across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, does this look proportionately correct? You need to ask yourself. Now, I've done this dozens of times, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't work. For example, I have an A over here, and I don't really like this A. I think A's are better. I think I should have done an A more like that. I think that would have looked better than this A. So sometimes you do it right and sometimes you don't. All right, so here's my E. I want to do 2, 1, 2. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so I have 4 in the middle. Okay, so can I do like that? Yep, that works. All right, so now I have my word hope. All right, let me switch it to this one. It's already done. Okay, and I need to establish a vanishing point. Remember, a vanishing point is on the horizon line, and in 1 point perspective, all the diagonal lines, fancy word for those diagonal lines are orthogonals, all diagonal lines go to this. So the middle of my word is about here. So I'm going to put my vanishing point about here. Okay. Now I'm going to take the bottom of all my letters and connect them to, nope, that's not it. So I'm going to take all the bottom of all my letters and draw a vanishing point. It's okay if they overlap or these two lines are really close together. That's okay. That happens in the real world. All right, so what am I going to do now? What about this here, the middle of my letters, and this? Just doing the bottom is a start, but you really need to look at the rest of the letters. So, all right, so I'm going to get going with the E. I'm going to line up, see how I'm lining up my ruler? You can't see it because it's kind of off the screen. Let me see if I can slide my phone down. One angle is, it's at the E, and the other end of my ruler is at the vanishing point. Now, this line is technically behind this space, so this line is going to stop here. The first couple times you do this, it's not going to make a whole lot of sense, but trust me, you have to kind of look at it. All right, now what about, all right, and this O goes over there. See this, the middle of this P, you really don't see it. The angle is so severe, it's not really going to show up. Okay, so here's the top of the H. And then this corner of the H, like that. Okay. All right, now what should we do? Well, we need to add some color. And remember that warm colors come forward and cool colors go back. So if you want to kind of have a palette of colors. So I was thinking about warm colors. So I got my warm color crayons here. And let's paint these, not paint them, color them bright. Now, I kind of want to, I believe in variety. If you have variety, that means difference, then your artwork looks really interesting, really pops. So we're going to have a series of warm colors for the letters. And then for the shadows, why don't we do some cool colors? And remember, in the darker areas, this is in the shadows. The shadows are darker areas, so they're going to be a little bit darker. I've been coloring so hard, I'm shaking the whole table. Now, again, we talk about variety, and I'm mixing the colors. I think this is a little bit easier to do with colored pencils than it is with than crayons. But the thing I do like about crayons is that they glide across the surface of your paper because they're wax. Oops, I just made a mistake. If you make a mistake, don't freak out. Sometimes crayons you can scratch off the surface, but at the end of the day, this is a work made by your hand. And that is amazing and wonderful. So in order to get an A on this assignment, you need to have a word, at least 3 letters, preferably more. You need to color all the letters and have the shadows leading down to the vanishing point. Okay. If you choose a word and want to have, if you have and have all this extra space, you want to, why not do an emoji over here to fill the space with an emoji? Now, how am I going to make this three-dimensional? Again, I'm going to put one end of the ruler on my vanishing point and the other end kind of in the middle of the circle. Okay. And then I could do, let's see, I want to do some red or some orange. And I could do some orange. I think that's too dark. Do something like that. You were going to take a picture of this and upload it to Canvas. Okay, any questions, just shoot me an email. Bye, guys. See you later.